Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Let's talk about Hope and Thomas for a minute. We've been waiting for this answer from Hope for like maybe a week and a half. A week and a half to answer a yes or no question. But at this point, it's a no-brainer. Your line sucks, okay? And the numbers definitely show that. So if you don't bring him back, then your line is done, and you might as well just sit there and pack it in. That's the bottom line of the situation. And yesterday, she told Liam that she's not going to take Thomas back like an idiot. Okay, because Liam decided to whine and complain and act like he was not there signing anyone's checks. So he practically put down his foot, and she was like, "Yeah, okay." Meanwhile, you got Taylor and Brooke. You got Taylor that is just constantly pressuring this woman. So you're gonna sit there and take him back, right? I mean, I wouldn't be sitting there advocating for him if I didn't think that he changed. Really, Bo? Because you was his therapist last time, and you pretty much assured everyone that he's all cured and he's all better. So why the hell are we gonna sit there and take your opinion, your judgment means nothing at this point? Like literally. So, half of the time I was just like, bro, you don't even work here. And you're sitting there trying to talk in her ear like it's not her decision. So you need to sit there and just take a step back. And Brooke is there sitting there being supportive. Meanwhile, Thomas was in Paris' office because apparently they don't have anything for Paris to do. So they talk real quick. And even Paris is like, yo, listen, Hope need to be begging you to have her line back. I mean, to have you come back to work for her. Or to work with her because the numbers are slipping and it shows. Thomas comes in there and the other two leave. Hope does this dramatic, long winded speech. And, Thomas is like, listen, I'm not going to sit there and mess up your marriage if Liam isn't okay with it. Like Liam actually signs anyone's checks, which is hilarious. And because I had to sit there and do this a couple of times, she did tell Liam no, that she's not going to bring him back. And then she decides to bring him back. And I clapped because I was like, oh, okay. I guess you do got it kind of, I think you do have a bit of a brain. Because you did realize that without him, you're screwed. Point blank, period. You are done. You know? Now, here's my whole thing with their past, right? I don't know too much of their past. I only started watching it about maybe a year and a half ago, give or take. But I know it's pretty awful. My whole thing is, if it's as awful as everyone says, then why is he still there? Why is Hope still working with this man? If he's done all the horrible, terrible things that people have said he did, then there is no rhyme or reason why he should be sitting there working with her. I mean, at some point, oopsie daisy doesn't become oopsie daisy anymore. It's just, no, you're doing this on purpose. So the fact that you even worked with him the second time before it got to this point is telling right there. Either walk away or just work with him. Because it's not like she doesn't have options. Pick a lane and go in it. And now we're doing the same thing now, where it's like he screwed up once again, and you decide to take him back. So whatever their past history is, it clearly doesn't matter that much to anybody, and that includes Hope. I mean, you really sit there and look at it as a whole. Okay, Thomas is, Ridge's son, and Ridge and everyone, they kind of work together, own the company, whatever. If you don't want to sit there and work with somebody like that, you either tell them that they got to leave point blank, or you leave. But since either none of that has happened, here we are. Um, So yeah, she took him back. Douglas came there to hang out. Well, I guess I don't even really know why Douglas is there, but at first he came to visit Taylor and Brooke, and then he brought him into the office, the main office or whatever. Douglas is happy. He hugs both of his parents. There was a point where Hope and Thomas, I think, or somebody they were sitting there talking about wouldn't it be a good idea to see both of their parents work together and be friends and stuff. So when he came in there, he found that both of his parents are going to be working together. They're going to sit there and try to be a lot more friendlier and stuff because, he doesn't like his parents fighting and stuff. And with that being said, now Doug's like, oh, well, let's not have fun at Stephanie's house, but I'm ready to come back home now. Just like that. Just like that. Just ready to come right back. So, yeah. All that whining and crying and stuff like that, acting like she didn't have another child, only lasted for like what, two or 3 weeks? Just pretty much what Steffi and everyone else is there saying. Meanwhile, you got Liam and you got Wyatt talking about the whole Thomas situation and Liam being like, did I do the right thing? Was I too caveman? Was I too controlling? You know, who am I to sit there and tell her how to run her business and her work and stuff like that? And, Wyatt was all like, oh, well, you're her husband and what affects you affects her. It was like, yeah, that's true. But, I mean, this isn't the 1950s anymore, okay? He doesn't just come home, put his foot down, and she just says, okay, sure. Like she pretty much did yesterday. So he was wondering did he go overboard, and Wyatt was like, no. But, Wyatt's answer was, oh, she'll figure it out. Because, they both was, even Liam was like, listen, the line could be shelved, and that would be a disaster. Oh, she'll just figure it out. No, 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 no. She shouldn't just have to figure it out. Okay, she should be doing what she wants to do. Okay, Liam is not in charge of anyone. He's not in charge of Hope. Is not in charge of foster creation. Doesn't sign anyone's checks. So I understand that she has to run it. But well, I understand that she has to sit there and talk to him. I don't even like to use. I don't even like using the word "run it by him." Like, oh, is it okay if I work with Thomas? Um, he's not your boss. You know, like seriously, he's not your boss. I understand marriage and vows and stuff like that, but this is business. Point blank. Period. Um, and if Liam doesn't like that, you know what? Have him start his own fashion line. Have him start his own warehouse and get Hope to come in and start making those clothes there. Get a whole new designer and do that. If he's not going to do that, then shut up. Okay? Point blank. If he's not going to do those steps, then shut up. I don't even remember him mentioning that. He just kept saying, "Well, Thomas is a bad idea." Okay, what's your plan then? How are we going to get Hope flying off the ground? What are your big ideas that you want to sit there and come up with? Oh wait, yeah, nothing. Um, so yeah, I'm glad that she decided to use her brain and do the right thing for her career, her line, her employees underneath her, because Liam Spencer don't sign no one's checks. So, And, Hope got her son back that she was there whining about for 2 weeks, like Beth just was not her daughter. So, that was all sorts of fun to sit there and listen to. Hmm. I can't wait to Monday or Tuesday when Hope has to sit there and go back and tell Liam, oh yeah, remember when I said no yesterday? Yeah, when I sat there and I looked at the bigger picture, and I also realized that, you're not my boss, and you don't sign anyone's checks. So I decided to do what I want to do because it's business. I can't wait to sit there and hear that conversation and see how much he's going to freak out about that. That should be very entertaining. Um, uh, this show is definitely something interesting, I would sit there and say the least, because it's just, I just, sometimes, and well, a lot of times, I feel like it's extremely fun to sit there and talk about this show because Some of the acting, some of the pacing, some of the way that the story is being told. You have Paris in office, not really doing too much of anything. You could have replaced her with a sock puppet, and it would have did the exact same thing. It's like they gave her a story for a little bit, and now she pretty much kind of got shelved. I know that the actress is doing other things or whatever. She's voicing something for some Disney Plus show or some Disney show, Marvel kind of thing that's going on. So she's doing other things. I'm also just like, can we get these people a storyline? You know, I don't know. It is what it is. But what it is it's entertaining. And I am really surprised. The numbers yesterday, it blew GH out the water with numbers wise. GH is usually my highest viewed review. And B&B was like, nah, hold my beer. Pretty much. Just hold my beer. See, I was going to sit there and do an experiment as far as trying to do days for like next week, but if the numbers are like what they were yesterday or somewhere in between, then I'm just going to do GH and B&B. You know, I'm just going to do GH and B&B. And, yeah. I mean, it's not something they're saying I'm never going to do another day's review, but I mean, yeah, it does come down to numbers for a number of different reasons. Mostly for the simple fact that, well, more people want to sit there and watch B&B review than days reviews. I mean, last night I think it was like maybe 59 or 70 or something like that. Well, B&B was like 500, 600 or whatever. If you look at it right now, it's 800. You know, so clearly people want to sit there and watch reviews more on B&B than they do on days. So I just have to sit there and do what works. Is what it really comes down to. Um, yeah, it's been, you know, don't get me wrong. There's been times where B&B has been higher than GH, but when it happens like that, it's like it just feels like I'm in an alternate dimension. I don't know. I enjoy doing these reviews. I really enjoy doing B&B reviews, mostly just because it's how hilariously stupid some of the things that goes on in this show. But I mean, I say that in a very tongue in cheek way because it's just when you look at it as a whole, it's just like this is like you just kind of wonder, just like you've been on for like 35 years, right? How? I mean, don't get me wrong. I heard back in the day that this show was like, this was the it show to watch, or you know, was better than what it was. I mean, granted, we could look at all the shows, but specifically this one. Um, but then you sit there looking into it now, and you're just like, what? I still remember that episode where you have Wyatt, Liam, and Bill going to some new diner, right? Some new restaurant. This restaurant was so small. I was like, is this restaurant in somebody's like living room or something like that? Because it was small. I know budget is not the same that it was back then, but I'm like, wow. Anyway, I feel like that's about it. I can't really think of anything else that happened, but if you can, let me know in the comment section. Also, I'm going to be sitting there doing a live stream like I do every night, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Saturdays and Sundays, same time schedule, but for members only. So, if you want to be a member, hit the join button at the description box below. Trying to get, well, once I get 200, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I've been saying that for a while, and I know this whole shilling thing, trust me, I get it. I'm not just a YouTuber, I watch other YouTubers or whatever, so I try not to sit there and do it as much, but I feel like it's just my way of giving thanks to the people that have gotten me this far. That's really got me this far. Because, you know, one of the many goals is sit there and do this more on a full-time basis. This way I can actually do all four of the soap operas and stuff like that, and you know, do my live streams at night and just really do this in more on a full time level. Um, but yeah, it's just a way of saying thank you. I really appreciate everything that you've done, and just in general, thank you just watch my videos. And I feel like I don't say that enough. I mean, I may sit there and say in the comment section sometimes, but if you're watching this, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Anyway, I can't really think of anything else to say, so I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching, be safe, and I will see you in the next video.